Today we're checking out the Dragonfire Performance Ignition Tune-Up Kit in red for the 2007 to 2013 V8 Silverado 1500s with the square coils. If your truck is rough idling, misfiring, or just losing spark consistency, this kit is a complete tune-up kit that can refresh your entire firing system. When your truck starts getting some miles on it, it can start rough idling and just not firing like it used to. A full ignition tune-up is exactly what it needs to see a bump in almost everything from horsepower and torque to fuel economy, smoother idling, sharper throttle response, and even easier starting. This kit's gonna be designed to overhaul your entire ignition system with spark plugs, wires, and the coils. Plus it even has some dielectric grease in the kit to simplify your install process. This is gonna help you restore reliable spark and improve all-around engine performance. It can give you a smoother idle by replacing worn out plugs and wires, which tend to cause some roughness, especially at idle or low RPMs. Cleaning up that combustion sequence is also gonna help your exhaust note and even your miles per gallon, which is always a nice bonus when your truck is just running more efficiently. The components are built for long-lasting performance with iridium spark plugs and high-quality coil packs, and the coils are even finished in this nice anodized red with the red wires to match, which is a nice touch for a performance tune-up kit. Now, as far as pricing goes on this, it's coming in right around that mid $300 price range. Given that you're replacing most of your critical ignition system components in one shot, that cost is pretty reasonable for the performance, the reliability, and the drivability improvements offered in an all-in-one, ready-to-install kit. This installation is getting rated just a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and you can have this installed and done in only 1 hour of your time. Now let's head on out to the shop and we're gonna give you a detailed walkthrough of exactly how this install process goes.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, an extension, a 5/8 spark plug socket, 10mm swivel socket, and feeler gauges. What's up guys? Today we're installing an ignition kit on our Silverado, so let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is pop off our engine cover. So we're just gonna lift up and pull out. So now we need to disconnect the connector on our coil pack, remove the 2 bolts, remove our wire, and then we'll have access to our spark plug. So I'm gonna start up top with the connector. You need to lift the tab and pop it off. This is that tab right here, just lift up on that. And then I'm using a 10mm swivel socket for my bolts. This is gonna make it a lot easier for the ones in the back, more specifically. And then once we have our coil pack unbolted, we can wiggle out our spark plug wire. And then you can remove that whole assembly as one. Do the same thing for the rest of your coil packs, and then we'll pull our spark plugs out. So now we can go ahead and remove our spark plugs. Now I would do this one at a time. Take the old one out, put the new one in, so that you don't have 8 different holes into your engine opened up at the same time. That'll reduce the risk of anything getting dropped down in there. So take a 5/8 spark plug socket, get it over the spark plug, and then pull it the rest of the way out. So now before we get our spark plugs into our truck, we want to confirm that our gap is preset. So the spec for this truck is 0.04. So I've got my feeler gauge on 0.04, and I'm just going to go in there, and you just want to feel a little bit of resistance, which we have here. So this plug is gapped properly. So I'm just going to pop my spark plug socket and extension off my ratchet, throw it in there, and then I'll get down there and thread it in. So now just get your plug down there and thread it into the engine. Now once I have that threaded all the way in, I'm going to throw my ratchet on the other side and snug it up. Now the torque spec on these spark plugs is 11 foot-pounds, so don't over tighten it. You just need to get it to bottom out and then give it about another quarter turn to snug it up. So now with our new spark plugs in, I'm gonna start by attaching the spark plug side of the spark plug wire. So just get that over your plug, press it in until you get that click. And then I'm gonna connect the other side to my coil pack. Same thing, push until you hear the click. And then we're gonna slide this up into place. Thread in our 2 factory bolts. Reinstall your connector. And then I'm going to take my 10mm swivel socket to tighten down my 2 bolts. And then once you have that done on one of them, you can repeat that exact same process for the rest of your coil packs and spark plug wires. Now we just need to reinstall our engine cover. We've got these 2 little clips that are going to go into the hooks in the back, and then we've got grommets that we're going to pop down onto these studs. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Dragonfire Performance Ignition Tune-Up Kit in red for your 2007 to 13 V8 Silverado 1500 with square coils. Thank you for watching, and for all things Silverado, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.